Hi, my name is Sunday. In this video, I'll be talking about how to request a family reunion, meaning how you can be able to bring in your family wherever from any part of the world, from Africa, from your home country, if you are residing here in Italy, how you can be able to bring them in. Your father, your mother, or your wife, or your husband, or your children, whoever that you have back home, how you can be able to bring them into Italy, the place where you are living. But first, if you know you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click the notification bell so that whenever I upload any new videos or information, you will know. So, who can request for a family reunion? It says the foreigner residing in Italy, holder of a valid resident card or permit or resident permit lasting not less than 1 year, issued for the following reasons. Now, whoever that is holding a resident permit that is not less than 1 year, meaning that is not 6 months, it's not 8 months, it's not 9 months, it must be from 1 year and above. Holder of such resident permit can be able to request for family reunion. It says, one, subordinate work. Whoever that is having lavoro subordinato, your document is for lavoro subordinato or for subordinate work, you can be able to request for your family member to come in. Then two, self-employed, meaning those ones that are having autonomous. Your document is autonomous document. They will have political asylum. These are the people that are having asilo. That's 5 years asilo or subsidiary protection. These two type of that are having 5 years subsidiary or 5 years asilo. They can also request for their family member to also come and stay with them. There's also some group of people that are here. They have the permit of study. So this group of people can also invite their people or their relatives to also come. The number 5 says religious reasons. So people that are also here for religious reasons, there are sojourners like that are also stated for religious reasons. If it's more than above 1 year, the person can be able to also invite whoever to come and live and stay with him or her. Then the 6th one says family reason. If your sojourner is for family reason, you also have the right to request for your family member to come and stay or just for a visit. You have the right for you to invite them to come and stay with you. The most important thing, there are many things that you need to also have as well. So these are the group of people that can be able to invite their family members, their father, their mother, their wife, their children, or their minor children, meaning children that is not above 18 years. So you can be able to invite them to come and live and stay with you in Italy. Now we're going to look at what are the family members whose reunification can be requested. The family member, type of family members that you can be able to invite or bring to where you are staying here in Italy. It says, first of all, the spouse, meaning your wife or your husband. That's number 1. You can be able to invite or to bring in your wife or your husband. Then, if they are of legal age and not legally separated, if they are of legal age, your wife is not minor, is of legal age, you can be able to bring your wife or your husband. And if you are not also legally separated, if you have separated legally, maybe you have divorced, you can't bring the person. So it must be legal. So if you have not married the woman or the wife or your husband legally, so you have to go and marry him or her legally before applying for those things. If your wife is back home or your husband is back home, before starting the process, you have to first go and do the legal marriage. Do the legal marriage so that you have the certificate. Without that, you cannot be able to do that. It says, and then the children who at the time of the application for reunification are under the age of 18. So it also includes children that are under the age of 18 at the time of the application. So meaning you can also bring in your children that are under the age of 18. They are above 18, you cannot be able to bring them in. It says includes those of the spouse or born out of wedlock. Now listen to this. So if your wife or your husband back home maybe is having another children before the marriage, maybe with another woman, or your wife is having other children before you got married to her with another man, those children that your wife is having you can still be able to bring them. Or those children that your husband is having outside, you can still be able to bring them. If your husband wants to bring, you can still be able to bring them as well. And also, it also talks about born out of wedlock. For instance, the children you were having before, maybe you have not gotten married now. So the children you gave birth to before your legal marriage, before your common marriage or your registered marriage, these children are always called children out of wedlock, meaning you gave birth to them before you got married. So these children are also considered, you can also bring them in as well. Say, provided that they are not married and that the other parent, if he exists, has expressed his consent. So provided that these children that we are talking about, they are not married, and if also your husband has given birth to another children before he married you, or if also your wife has given birth to other children before you married her, these children you can also bring them in, provided that the other parents, which is the other parents of the child, give a consent. For instance, you got married to another woman here as a man, and your wife is still back home with the children. So before you can be able to bring that child to come and stay with you, to come and school here over here in Europe, the woman has to give consent that he's going over there to go and meet his dad or to go and meet his mom. So that's what they're just saying. So he has to give consent, remembering that the minor children adopted as well, or entrusted or subject to your protection, are treated as natural children. So it's saying that you should remember as well that minor children, whoever that you have adopted, for instance, you have adopted any child, is still the same form, and they are considered as your natural children. And also, if any child is being entrusted to you, for instance, his mother is no more, or maybe your brother's child, or your sister's child, maybe they are no more, so this child has been entrusted to you for you to take care after the child. This child is also regarded as your natural child. Or any child that is under your protection, maybe it's being given unto you for protection, that same child is also considered as your natural child. So another one is this, it says, on the other hand, adult children dependent on the foreigner residing in Italy can be reunited if they cannot provide for their life's need for serious health reasons that involve total disability. Now it's talking about, maybe for instance, adult child, maybe your child has crossed 18 years, and if he has crossed 18 years, you are not supposed to be able to bring him. Maybe it's 19, 20, or even 30. But if that child maybe is disabled, maybe it's because of health reason, he cannot be able to provide for himself. Because of health reason, he cannot be able to take care of himself or herself. So that same child, that type of a child, you can also be able to bring that child if he's dependent on you, although he has crossed the boundary of 18 years. But if he has one physical challenges or the other, or one health challenges or the other, you can also to bring the person, but there must be certificate that certifies that he's either disabled or is facing health challenges. That same child, you can also to bring such a child as well. So for parents, it says that family reunion for parents, but the application can also be submitted for parents dependent on the foreigner. Then parents over the 65 years of age, when there are no other children able to provide for their livelihood in the country of origin, or if the other children cannot provide for serious health reasons documentation. Now let me explain. Now if you want to bring in your parents, it says, number one, they have to be above 65 years of age. 65 years of age. So this 65 years of age, for you to be able to bring them in, number one, you have to declare that you are the only child of that your parent. If it's your mother and your father, you have to declare that you are the only child of your mother, or you are the only child of your father, or you are the only child of the both parents. That's number one. When that one is being declared, then that is very easy for you to bring them in. So the other one, if you cannot be able to bring them in, even though they are 65 years and above, even though you have everything here, you cannot be able to bring them in if you have brothers or sisters, your sibling, your brothers or sisters who are also back in the same country. For instance, in Nigeria, in the same country, Africa country you have, you cannot be able to bring your parents in because your brothers or sisters are there and they are well able. But if you can be able to declare that these your brothers or sisters or your sibling, they are having health challenge, so they cannot be able to take care of your parents, or they are having some kind of documentation problem, challenges, they cannot be able to take care of your parents. Take for instance, they are in one country or the other, so maybe because of documentation problem, they cannot be able to take care of your parents. So with that, on that ground, you are also allowed to bring in your parents. But that is always sometimes difficult. That's why some people just go in and prove that they are only the child of the parent or only the child of the father or the mother. So it's easy in that way. If you go through other means, you have to submit different kind of documents where they are living, their houses, the reason why they cannot be able to take care of them. Many issues and many documentations to be submitted. So with that, some people just go on the other faster lane, declares that you are the only child of the parents. So you'll be able to bring them in subito and fast. So now we're going to look at the things you need to have over here before you yourself can be able to bring them in. You yourself needs to be okay here in one thing or the other. The government needs to certify that you are okay in one thing or the other before you can be able to carry another person to come and join you over here. Now it says, talks about accommodation. The applicant must have the availability of accommodation that can accommodate family members who must be reunited. So you must have suitable accommodation, a well-organized accommodation, meaning your apartment, your room, or wherever you are staying, the place you are staying must be okay before you can be able to bring somebody over here. The competent municipal office issues the certificate of housing suitability. That is the declaration of how many people can live in the accommodation and that the home complies with the hygiene and health requirement. That is where we talk about idoneita de allojo. So you have to have that certificate of the house you are staying. They will come and measure the house, whether the house is okay, whether the house is suitable, whether the house can accommodate the group of people. For instance, you are one, depends on the people you are inviting, whether the house can be able to contain who you are inviting, whether the house complies with hygiene and health requirement, whether it's okay. They have to check everything. So if the house is okay, there's a certificate they will give you, the certificato di idoneità de alloggio. They will give that one to you. It is also with that certificate you can also use to file the application for your loved ones or for your family member to come over here. So how to request that certificate I just talked about? I said the certificate must be requested from the technical office of the municipality of resident or from HASLE where it belongs. Now the certificate, you can request the certificate of alloggio from your commune. You go direct to your commune. Tell them you want that certificate. They will put you through how to do it. There's a form you need to fill. Then after filling the form, they will come and check your house, whether the house is okay. They will give you a date to come and check it. After the house is okay, there's a certificate they will issue and give to you. You say, why if the person requesting the unification is a guest by someone? Now listen to this. If the person requesting the application, maybe you are somebody, you want to bring in your family member, sometimes it does not mean you must have your personal apartment. So some people are having documents, having work, although they are unable to have their personal apartment, so they are unable, they think they cannot be able to bring in their wife, they think they cannot be able to invite their family member or their children or their father or their mother. Even if you are staying with somebody at home, or you rented just one room from person, from black, from anywhere, you can still be able to file an application and bring in your wife. You don't need to wait until you get a full apartment. You don't wait until you rent a full apartment. No, you can still bring him. Say, why if the person requesting the reunification is a guest by someone? If you are a guest in somebody's house, if you are just staying in that person's house or you rented just one room from that person, he said he must accompany the application with a written declaration from the owner of the apartment. So the owner of the apartment, there's a declaration, a form, Modelo S. So there's a form the owner of the apartment needs to fill. We have to write his name, his data and everything, and also photocopy his carta identità and all other documents along with it. With that paper, you'll be able to file in the application, even if you are not the owner of the apartment. If you are just renting it, the most important thing, your residence is there. Now, let's look at another most important thing that you also need to have before you can be able to bring in your family member. Say that is your income, your annual income, your code. A minimum annual income deriving from legal source, not lower than the annual amount of the social allowance increased by half the amount of the social allowance for each family member who wants to be reunited. So you must have an annual income, which is called a maximum of the annual income. And the number needs to, if you are bringing in somebody, the number needs to increase 50%. The number needs to increase 50% of that number. So this income parameter is susceptible of annual updating and the necessary income increases according to the number of family members who intend to reunite. So it's talking about the annual income, the range. Every year there are different kind of annual income they do bring out. In last year's one was different from this year. So the one of 2020 is also different from 2019. So you need to know the current annual income because every year it's always changed every year. So the one of this year is this, a social allowance for one person. So this is what one person, you as if you are here as an individual, are just single in this place and you want to bring in your wife or your children, whoever from Africa, you as an individual first, you need to have 5,977.79. Let's say in a total, in a round figure of 6,000 code. You have to have 6,000 euro code. 6,000 euro annual code, annual income. That is what you need to have as an individual. Then it's increasing 50%. Let's say, for instance, it's 6,000 per you or just for you. Then it's the 50% increased by 50%. The 50% of 6,000 is 3,000. So it means that if you are bringing in one, say just number one, just one family member to be reunited, even if under 14 years, is 8,966, roughly 9,000, meaning 6,000 which is you plus one person 3,000, making it 9,000. So that's how it increased. So if you are bringing two family members, it is 6,000 plus 3, which is 12,000. That's what it's written down here, 11,959, approximately 12,000. So you first is 6,000. So anybody you are bringing is going to be 3,000 increasing. If you are here as well, if you are here, maybe you are here with your wife and with your family. So it has to be you 6,000, your wife that is here already is 3,000, your child, maybe you just have just one child, 3,000, which is 12,000 already. Then including whoever you are bringing, maybe you are bringing your mom, then plus that 3,000 of your mom, making it 12 plus 3, which is 15,000. So that's how it's increased. Anybody you want to bring, it increased by 3,000 per person. That is 50% of the annual income. So if you get that, you'll be able to do your calculation, you'll be able to know how you need to get your annual income. If you are those ones that are putting in for autonomous, you can also use autonomous to do. I've explained it later. I've explained it as well. You can also use autonomous. If you also put in for autonomous, you have to use autonomous self-business to bring in your family member, your wife, your children, your whoever, your father, your mother. You can be able to know the range to declare. If you are just here single, meaning you have to have 6,000 first. If you are bringing just your wife, you have to declare from 9,000. From 9,000. Then if you are here with your wife as well, for instance, you are here with your wife already, and you want to bring in just your children, your child, it has to be 3,000 hard. So you know how to declare your code before you can be able to go in for the application. Maybe you are working in Fabrica, in factory, say attach if employees, the latest tax return, which is your code, the latest, not the old one, the latest. For instance, you are applying this year, the one of this year has come out already, so you have to use the one of this year. If maybe you are applying from January, maybe you were to apply from January, meaning the one of this year has not yet come out, you have to use the upper one, the latest on your hand. Any tax return you want that you have collected, if you have collected the latest of this year, if for instance you want to apply this year, the latest has come out already, you have to use the one of this year. So the latest tax return, which is your code. Then it says the latest paycheck or the certificate photocopy of the payroll, your paycheck, which is your booster paga, the latest. Especially they always collect 3 lutumo, that's 3 last booster paga. The photocopy of your employment contracts. Your employment contract also needs to be attached to it. There is self-certification of the employer. A self-certification of the employer, your capo. There is a form Modelo S3. So that's the form. Your capo needs to fill that form, stating when you started work, the amount you are receiving, and your annual income. It also needs to be stated in that place, signed by him. He also needs to put along with it is the photocopy of his document. You also need to put the photocopy of his, either his Carta Identità or any other, just Carta Identità. He needs to put the photocopy of his document as well, then to signify that you are really working this. It says to verify the topicality of the employment relationship, to verify that you are really working there. So you need to have that form filled by him, signed by him, and his document attached to it. Then the second group of people, it says attach if domestic worker, if you are a domestic worker. If you are a domestic worker, you can also bring in your family member. So these are things you also need to attach. It says attach if domestic workers, the latest tax return, the same thing, either your code or your settled renter. So you need to attach your latest tax return or the employment notification to the employment center, your employment notification. Just form of contract, your employment notification, in addition to the payment slip, the same booster package they're also giving you, almost the same thing, for the quarter preceding the date of submission of the application, and the self-certification of your employer as well. On this one, they have Modelo S2 to fill. It's another form as well. Your employer also need to fill it, attach its credentials to it as well. The same thing with the former one, which demonstrate the existence of the employment relationship. So that form always demonstrates that yes, you are really working there, because there are some people they'll just want to do one contract or the other. Maybe they are not working there. That will be very hard for them to do. So if you are really working there, so that demonstrates that yes, you are really working there. Then third one says attached if self-employed. So now this one goes to those ones that are doing autonomous self-business. You can also invite your family member if you are doing autonomous. So attached if self-employed, the document proving it, whether it is an individual company or a project collaboration, or it is a freelancer. Whether you are doing it depends on the self-employed you are doing. So whatsoever thing you have used to declare your self-employed or your autonomous, that document needs to be attached. Maybe the document you are using to pay your tax and everything. So those things need to be attached. These are just the things that you need to attach, plus any other things. If all those things are prepared and ready, then you go over to CGL, Patronato offices or CAF. You can be able, even Grupo Europa, you can be able to file in your application for the reunification of your family. So the timing of the outcome of the request is marked by several steps. So there are several steps or several avenues whereby they determine whether to give it to you or not. So once all the requirements mentioned above have been ascertained, all the requirements I mentioned, once all those things have been ascertained, they have really checked it, have been justified, they have seen that it is okay, then the single desk for immigration, which is the Prefectura, will release the authorization for family reunification within 19 days of the submitting the request. So if all these things have reached their hand, they have looked at all those things. So Prefectura will have to release the authorization for family reunification within 90 days. Before it was within 180 days. Now it has been brought back to 90 days, which is just 3 months. So within 3 months, within 90 days, you have to release the authorization within 90 days of submitting the request. So after you have submitted all these requests, you have to wait within 90 days. It might be 1 month, it might be 2 months, it might be 50 days, it might be 30 days. So within 90 days, they will have to get back to you. So if everything is okay, they give it to you. But if something else, say, and in the event of a negative answer, for instance, they did not grant it based on one thing or the other, it is possible. It is not over there. It is possible to appeal to the ordinary court of the residence of the applicant regularly residing in Italy. So, for instance, the Prefectura are supposed to give you the nulla osta. They didn't give you the nulla osta for your family to be able to come. They reject it, or they reject your application. You can appeal. If you find out, if you know that your document, everything you present are correct and genuine, you can file an appeal whereby you appeal the case. They might grant you the application again. So in the event whereby the application is granted, if they really grant you, then it says the authorization to reunite is transmitted electronically to the Italian consular offices in the country of origin or residence of the family member still abroad. So if it's being granted, number one, they have to send you a letter for you to come and retrieve it, for you to come and collect the nulla osta from Prefectura. So you have to go. Then, and also, as you are collecting yours in this place, they will also send another one to the embassy in Africa, in the country of origin where your family member is living, or where you want to bring your family member from. They will have to send another one to them. They will send another one through electronic means. They will send it over to the embassy that way. But yours, they will give yours to you this side. So when they have given yours to you, which is the nulla osta, then you have to post the nulla osta to your family back in Africa. Then they will start using it to process other things. So after your family member, whoever, your wife, your husband, whoever have received the nulla osta, then it says, and the family member for whom the authorization has been requested must submit to the consular offices the certification attesting the relationship of kinship translated and validated by the consular authority. So your family member that way, we have to go and submit other data or other things that testify or that certain that you are really family. If it's your mother, there are other things that go. So it's very long process. But the first thing is for you to get the NULA or STAR here. There are many other things that will transpire over there in Africa. If it's your mother, you have to do DNA test. People don't know that. If your mother, you have to do DNA test. If it's your children, though it's not mentioned here. So it says must submit to the consular offices this certification, attesting the relationship. So there's attesting something that connects you together. If it's your father, the thing that connects you, that is where they go over to DNA test. If it's your mother, something that connects you, that's where they turn over to DNA test. So if it's your child, something that connects you, so that's why they go over to DNA test. Previously, they were not doing that DNA test. So because of that, people were taking advantage of it, bringing any kind of people they want to bring. So because of that, they have not come to the idea of, before you bring in any person, if it's your father, if it's your mother, if it's your child, you must do DNA test. But if it's your wife, there's no need of doing DNA test. Only thing that connects you is going to be the legal marriage certificate. So you must have the legal marriage certificate. So if it's your child, you must do the DNA test and other things that certify that you are the parent of that child, or you are the father or the mother of that child. So these are the things that you need to do. So after your person that way, your relation that way has presented those things, and it has been done, because that side is a long process. It's another thing that need another ball games, another story that needs to be told another time. How to do it, what to do and what not to do, how to go over the process. That is another ball game, another video entirely. So after they have submitted those things, it says the reunification visa is issued or denied within 30 days of the request. So after these things have been presented, then the reunification visa is either denied or accepted within 30 days. So it's just 30, within 1 month after they submit it, within 1 month, there has to be an answer. It's either they deny it or they accept it. They will give, if they accept it, good. They will give the person visa for the person to come over here and stay with you. Say once they have given the person visa, now listen, once your father had obtained the visa, your mother had obtained the visa, or your child had obtained the visa, or your wife or your husband had obtained the visa. Say once you have obtained a visa for reunification, your family member has 8 days from entry Italy to request a resident permit for family reasons. Otherwise, it will be considered irregular. So if you are giving you the visa, the 8 days is not counting from there. No, they will give you 1 year. Sometimes always 1 year visa. So when they have given you that visa, you can come in at any time, but within 1 year. But the very day they enter into Italy, you have from there 8 days. So the very day they drop their feet in Italy or step into Italy, from that very day, it starts counting 8 days. So within the 8 days, not 2 weeks, you don't have to be so much busy that you not take them to Prefettura. No. From within the day they step into Italy, from there 8 days start counting. So you quickly have to take them to Prefettura to go and legalize them. If not, they are considered irregular. So that's what they're trying to tell you. So he said the resident permit for family reasons will allow him to enroll in school courses, work, and use the services for national health services. So if you are able to take him or her to that place within 8 days, the resident permit will be given to any resident permit that is given to your family member. He can use it to school. He can use it to work. He can also use it for health reasons and any other thing here in Italy. So these are all the things that you need to do. These are all the things that you need to have. So you need to be able to gather all these things together. So if you want to invite your family member, even just 3 months visit, you can still do it. Or family reunification, meaning to bring them over here to come and start living here with you. Your father, your mother, your wife, your husband, or your children. These are the people you can be able to bring in here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and also share to others, because the thing is that many of us, we don't know all these things. We are thinking many things. We don't know that there are some opportunities we have. As far as you have work in this country, you have documents, you are legalized. There are things that you can do. You can be able to bring in your family member, your wife. It's good for man and woman to live together. If you want to bring in your wife, it's good. Your children, it's not good for you to stay here while your wife is elsewhere. If you are working, you have the rights to bring them. So if you are not also working, avail yourself, find work. Don't just get relaxed. Find work. Make sure you are able to do it for the sake of your wife, or for the sake of your husband, or for the sake of your children. Try all means, everything possible. If you are putting your document in autonomy, do it because you know the reason why you want to do it. Do it for something. Not just stay in Italy. You just feel relaxed. You are okay because there's no work. You have to go hard. If you are staying in a city whereby there's no work, relocate. Go to other city where there are works. Try to find a bar. Try to find out how to get the work. If you are staying in one place, if the city is not good, maybe you are living in some kind of region whereby there's no work in that place, try to relocate to other region. Go to the north. Go over to different places that you know that work 50% advantage is where you can be able to get work. So you can be able to do it, even though you can't do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your father. Do it for your mother. Or do it for your child that is back home. Do it for your wife that is back home. Do it for your children that is back home. Do it for your husband that is back home. You can be able to do it if only you want to. If you really put your heart to do it, you pray along with it, then God will bring it come to pass. So as I've said earlier, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and also share it to others. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that whenever I upload any new videos or information, you will know. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.